Open Nebula Systems, and he's going to talk about the sovereign cloud and open source.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be speaking fast and loud. So if I speak too loud and I speak too fast, you can tell me to stop a little bit, okay? I'm Francisco Picolini, open source community manager. Even though that my surname looks Italian, I'm not Italian. I can speak a little bit of Italian, but don't get into any argument with me in Italian because I'm gonna start arguing with you in Argentinian, okay? So I don't know who will be lost on that discussion. I work for Open Nebula System, which is an open source company, headquarters in Spain, but we have offices in Brussels, in Brno, in Boston, everything with B. Don't ask me why, that's another coincidence. But we are the only European infrastructure as a service company in Europe. We are part also of the CNCF, Silva member, Linux Foundation membership as well, and nowadays we recently signed up with the Confidential Computing Consortium, so we are part of several organizations across open source ecosystem. I'm going to talk about cloud sovereignty. This is, even though that it's an engineering track, I'm not going to be talking too many technical concepts, so please apologize for that. But I'm going to talk a little bit about what happened back in the days. I don't have anything about Amazon, AWS, or anything. Actually, I have an AWS instance, but this is the only picture that I can find that it's a little bit of representative of what happened back in the days. During too many years, we opened the door to these type of companies, and we let the European Union, I live in Madrid, so I can say we as well, we let many companies enter without any restriction, giving away a lot of information, a lot of data, a lot of resources without concerns. It's like when you use Facebook. I'm too old for Facebook, I know, but this is my days of Facebook. It's like when you gave away all the information to Facebook and you gave marital status, age, birthday, and all that without thinking on the consequences. Okay, so this is very similar to what happened with many companies based in the US and what happened with European Union. And what happened is that this is the situation that we have right now. Actually, this is 2 years ago, 3 years ago almost. The trend with the market share of European providers remains the same, around the 10–12%. And basically, this is the situation that we have now, not because of we opened the doors and let Amazon, Microsoft, and many other actors to jump in and use our information or let them have the infrastructure with them, okay? This is something that it's a matter of also political situation. And basically, the European Union is also seeing this situation as a kind of a market, how do you say, it's a market fracture or something like that. I cannot have the correct name right now. But basically, the situation is that Amazon, Google, and Microsoft owns the 70% of the market share in cloud services. The best or the biggest European company that holds only the 2% of the market share, it's Deutsche Telekom. Okay, so 70% between 3 and only 2% for Deutsche Telekom. Then you have SAP, OVH Cloud, you have other companies, but this market share is below 2%. This is the situation that we have right now with the cloud infrastructure, and also the companies, European companies using cloud infrastructure are only using it for basic services, email, data storage, and basic stuff, not anything innovative, not anything like you can say groundbreaking. So, like I say, this is a little bit of the situation that we have right now. The use of the cloud in Europe is rising very slow. The difference between what a company in Europe can invest and what an American or a Chinese company can invest, it's 11,000 million in euros. Okay, this is the situation right now. This is very concerning for all the European actors that try to invest in the cloud. Also, it's very difficult for a cloud company like, let's call it OVH or Ionos or Skyway to put a feet on the cloud market because it's too complicated. Like I said before, the market share for the 3 big companies is 70%. This is not a kind of a number that I am inventing. This is basically what the European Union saw in the past and a few years ago. And that's why I'm going to talk a little bit about what's the situation with the European projects. But before this, there's another concept that I would like to comment, and part of the title of the talk, which is sovereign cloud. What it means, sovereign cloud. Like I said before in the first slide, when I show the Trojan meme saying that, okay, we let them get in without any concerning restriction. Right now, the situation is that the concept about sovereignty is very, very trendy, for saying in a way. Why is that? Because the European Union are trying to revert the situation of the control of the cloud market. And these companies, it's trying to convince us that they are also sovereign, they are also open, they are also offering a lot of innovation platforms for European companies to thrive in. And this is something that you can see on Oracle, on Amazon, on VMware, or Microsoft, okay? The concept of sovereignty. And why is that? Because there's a concern about national security as well in terms of where is your data located. Having a data center in Ireland or in France, it doesn't mean that your cloud is sovereign. It means that you have your infrastructure, part of your infrastructure, close to the users in Europe. But that doesn't mean that if something happens, you can take all the data and all the information back to US or back to China. Even there's a couple of things in Spanish government right now that it's negotiating with some Chinese companies. And that concern, it came because of why we are leaving this type of information or this type of data to these companies without thinking on the consequences. So this is a little bit, I'm going to be doing an overview of European projects. This is the first one that gets some results in terms of effectiveness. This is the Cognit. It's part of the Horizon Europe program. It combines AI, automation, portability to manage workloads in distributed environments with a focus on performance, security, sovereignty, and energy efficiency. There are 4 use cases about smart cities, for example, in Malaga with Asisa and Telefónica, which are 2 Spanish companies. There's also a use case about wildfire detection here in Italy, in Calabria, actually, with the Nature 4.0 company, which detects and analyzes the edge nodes information and defines if there's a fire threat or not. Also in smart cities with Phoenix and Attende, 2 Polish companies. And the last one is cybersecurity with CETIC and SUSE. Basically, it uses artificial intelligence to adjust workloads and assign resources to different edge nodes. And this is let's say, this is the biggest European open source project right now. This started at the end of 2023. It includes 3.3 billion euros in investment between public and private investment from different companies, and it participates around 7 member states and more than 19 companies, okay? This is to develop a pure open source European cloud infrastructure. The idea is that the IPSA is an important project for common European interest. I think I say it well. And this specific project is oriented to cloud and infrastructure services, okay? You can take a look on the website. It has a lot of information. Right now, it's going to end on 2028. So we are in the middle of that. And one of the this is I'm going to skip this, but it's basically what we use. OpenNebula with the system, which is the company where I work for. It's on the virtualization layer for all the cloud infrastructure. Okay, this is basically something that will handle all the Cloud Edge continuum to manage different use cases to bring the cloud close to the users. This is another one that it's the first project that we ran with IPSI, which is One Edge 5G, also based on Edge and AI workloads. And this is the one that we are currently working on. There are two phases. The first one is the Vertora testbed, and right now we are in the Vertora labs, meaning that we have countries like Slovenia, Croatia, Germany, Poland, Netherlands, and Spain working on this specific project, which is open for all companies, not necessarily connected to European projects. So if you are a company that wants to use a testbed based on a federated cloud, you can use it and you can join without being part of this European project. And I'm running a little bit late, so I'm going to try to leave time for questions. But the thing is that below all this, it's the open source. Below all these ideas are the open source because better transparency, better interoperability, more efficient use of resources, open standards. Without open source, all these projects, all these European projects, and all the situation to revert the market share with the cloud infrastructure wouldn't be possible. So we think that it's super important that if you are contributing to open source, if you are working on a cloud service, try to be part of this because we are open to any type of collaboration for creating a sovereign cloud here in Europe. It's not only to create a sovereign cloud, but it's also to strengthen the interoperability, avoid the vendor lock-in, and try to bring a control back to the users like it should be. So that's all I have to say. This is, like I say, an IPSI project, and this is the contact in case that you want to talk about OpenNebula, and QR code for feedback if you want. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Francisco. We have time for audience questions, so please raise your hands if you've got questions. There are some. Okay, I think
Too shy
questions.
To be two people.
Then this is the last talk of this end in this room. But not of the engineering track, so technically there is one more event that's part of the engineering track, and it's a workshop at 1 p.m. in the Crane Hall. It's about performance testing microservices, so quite similar maybe to what we've seen before. Then I can direct you at 2 p.m. There is a mapping party organized by OpenStreetMap, which will also start in the Crane Hall, which is kind of one of our community closing events. And also, if you're interested in listening to some more talks, there will in the seminar too. There will still be talks going into the afternoon. So thanks everyone for participating in the engineering track, the audience, and also especially the speakers. Thank you very much.
Thanks.